Okay, so here we're now looking at vertex form. We've seen this now for a couple of weeks. And so in these examples here, the new goal today is going to be that we can take this form, which has A, H, and K, and we can change it to look different into a different form. So for example, G, if I look at this function G of X, here I can identify that the A value, and you guys are already good at this, here A equals to -3, H will be +1, and K is +2. So we're good at doing this already from before. But the goal today is different. The goal today is to multiply things out to make it into a trinomial or to a different form. So with that being said, when I see this example here, I see three different operations. I see multiplying, I see an exponent, and I see addition. So between these three different operations, which one goes first? And you guys remember we have a certain order that we need to follow. So it's always first grouping symbols. Now in this case, we do have x minus 1, but they're not like terms, so I can move on from that. And next I have exponents. So I have one of those. So in this question, I'm going to first work on the exponent piece, which is going to be this here. So I'm going to write out multiply x minus 1 quantity squared. To do that, I'm going to make a box again and multiply this x minus 1 times x minus 1. But notice as I do that, in this example, I still have a times -3. So I'm going to kind of put that still here in my work here. I have a times -3 that I'm not using yet. I also have a +2 on this back end that I'm not going to use yet either. So in this example, I'm going to first multiply out this x minus 1 quantity squared using the box method. X times x is x squared. X times -1 is -1x or -x. -1 times x is -1x or -x again. And then -1 times -1 is +1. So I've multiplied all this out. And as before, we do have like terms here, so I'll combine those as well. So I end up getting here for the multiplication an x squared. And then here, minus x will be minus 2x. And then I also have this +1. So this is just a response for multiplying just this part of the original problem. I multiplied this out. But I still have this -3 being multiplied and this +2 on the back end. So at this point, between multiplying the -3 and adding, notice how we multiply before we add in the order of operations. So I'm going to now multiply this -3 into all three of these terms. So now I'm going to get, I use blue here, -3 times x squared is -3x squared. -3 times a -2x. Guys, when you guys do this stuff, say it out loud so you can hear the signs. A negative times a negative, we know is a positive. So this will become positive 6x. Again, talk yourself through the math. And then a -3 times a +1 is a -3. But notice how in this case, even still, I still have this +2 that I haven't used yet, so it's still here in my work. It's still here in my work. So to finish this question, I do have like terms here of just these two constants. So -3 + 2 is -1. So I end up getting this answer, -3x squared plus 6x, and then this -1. So our goal today is to take an equation, a quadratic in vertex form, which gives us a, h, and k, multiply it fully out to get this new form here, which we're going to call standard form in a few minutes.